Alright guys, so I forgot to record last night. My phone died and I got a little ahead of myself, so we already pretty much took apart the whole front end. Well, on one side, and we're putting, oh no, actually I still got to take the lower control arm. So we're making a quick AutoZone run because I need this bolt right here. I don't have this socket, so I'm gonna come by it. So I'm gonna grab that, some paint to finish painting the front. I probably need a degreaser too to add some grease to the control arm, so stay tuned guys. Hey, so we just drove to the other fucking AutoZone, the warehouse, whatever, to pick up the shocks and the fucking tie rods, but they only had the tie rods. They had the shocks, but they were trying to give me some used ass shocks. The shocks were used. I was like, what the fuck? These ain't new. And those were the only ones they had, so they returned that shit. Hopefully that goes back in my car. So it looks like I'm gonna have to order some shocks because no one has fucking not dropped shocks, but stock shocks for the Sierra. So I'm just gonna go ahead and order them online, and I'll go ahead and put that on later. So right now, let's go back home, finish the front suspension, and then we'll worry about the shocks later. All right, guys, as you guys can see, we already got it all taken apart. We just got back from AutoZone. We got the rods, paint. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get the shocks because they don't have them, but I'll just go ahead and order them online and get the drop shocks. But this is the socket we needed to take out that bolt over there, and then the bottom control arm should come right off, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint this, take this off again and paint that, trim the, well actually I'm gonna put everything back together, and then I gotta trim the tie rods, but I already painted the frame right here, as you guys can see. So I still need to paint the rest of that part, but yeah, I ran out of paint, so luckily I went to go grab some more paint, and let's get back on track. So stay tuned, guys. All right, guys, so we got the lower control arm off, and we got the rest of the frame painted. Came out really, really good, guys. So right now, what I'm gonna do now is get the lower control arm over here. Go ahead and install it, and then go ahead and start putting the springs on, and then start putting everything back together. And then I gotta see what I'm gonna do about the tie rods. So I gotta trim them. So I got some right there. But yeah, let's put it all back together now, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got the springs right here. As you guys can see, we got the lower control arm on already. Got it greased up. I gotta grease the top still, but I got the bottom ones with some grease. Now what we're gonna do is put lowering spring. It's a 2-inch lowering spring, and we got 3-inch control arms, so it's 5 inches in front. So what we're gonna do is install this in there, and then put everything back together, and then jack up the control arm, obviously, and so we can get the spring in place, and then tighten everything up, and then go from there, guys. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so we have loosened up everything. Already loosened up the spindle from the control arm. Already took off the control arm. I ended up taking my tubs out because it's a lot easier to get to the control arm, the bolts. But I got them right there, each side, so I don't know which side is which side. Yeah, that's how it's gonna look before. We gotta get ready to paint. This is the old control arms. Out with the old. Now we gotta get this ready to paint, clean this up, make it look nice, prep it, get it ready for paint. And then also we gotta loosen up this one. So this lower control arm, get off the spindle. And then after that, We have to also loosen up the sway links left, but we already loosened up the tie rod. So, a couple more things to go, guys, and we'll be ready to go. All right, so we have now removed both control arms. Frame is bare, ready for good cleaning and painting. So let's get to it. Oh shit. All right, guys, so there we have it. I got it nice and painted. Looks pretty good. It's drying up now, as you guys can see. So far, this project is turning out pretty badass, guys. So, excited with the results, happy with my results. Now all I gotta do is put it all back together. Control arms. So this is all we have left. So this is the lower one. This is the upper. I have to install the ball joints. The upper ball joint. Still have to install that. But I can probably start putting this one back together. Putting this one in there. And the spring, so. So that's next, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so now what I'm doing is using my jack to help me lift the control arm, because I found that this is the easiest way to do it. So I got it kind of aligned. I got it where it needs to be. So now what I gotta do is just push up, and hopefully we can get the control arm in place. So stay tuned. All right, guys, there it is. We got the control arms back on. Still got to tighten everything down. Tighten down the control arms. Still got to put the sway bar links and the tie rod. But the tie rod, I got to trim it still. So, got to watch a video on that, because I've never done that before. Really, I've never dropped a truck complete by myself before, and I did this time, so kind of proud of myself. There was no instructions with this kit, so I'm just going as I remember doing it the first time, but came out pretty good overall, guys. Very happy with the results so far. Like I said, I still need to order shocks. I still need to trim the tie rods, and then I'm gonna tighten everything down and then try to put the sway bar links on that we have over here. So we're gonna be putting this on. Somehow, we're gonna put it on like that. So, yeah. All right, guys, there it is. Sway bar links on. And we got everything tightened up. Control arms are in. Frame is nicely painted. Only thing that's gonna be left is for me to do this trimming. But I'm gonna watch the video on it so I can trim it right. And I'll probably do this tomorrow. I have the new ones that I bought today, so that's gonna be pending. And the shocks is pending. I'm gonna order those. But that's pretty much how it is now. So the other side does have the tie rod on, but this one I can't put it on because if I put it on, it's gonna have like the wheel turn all the way over here. So I'm wondering if I just have to cut one side. Probably not. I probably have to do both. But yeah, as you guys see, if I were to put it on, like the wheel on that side is straight, but this side, if I were to put it on, it would like be fucked up. So yeah, we're not gonna put that on right now. So I will stay pending. Alright guys, so shocks right here. We're also recording on a new phone because I broke my other one. So I got a new phone. But so I already did the tie rod mod. So I can see those are the old tie rods. We got a little bit of camber going on. And then I still got to align a little bit better this one. This one needs to come out a little bit more, so I want to go ahead and do that. The truck looks pretty good all around, but all that's missing are the shocks. So shocks are here, so let's get these bad boys thrown on and that aligned real quick so we can go ahead and take this hoe out. So stay tuned. And we're also gonna be changing the lights. I already put on one of the fucking mirrors, gotta put the other one on, so stay tuned, guys. So these are the socks I went with, guys. So these are the 2-inch to 5-inch drop springs from BELTEC that we're gonna be installing on the truck. So these are the old ones. The only reason I'm changing them is because, look, anyways, I can push that in all the way and it doesn't come back out. So they're shot. They look like the stock shocks anyways. So from this to this, so stay tuned, guys. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna install the shock in there. Put this on top. Bolts. We got the other ones over here. It's pretty simple. Got the shock on. It's a 17 millimeter. So we tighten the top on. And then we got the bottom on as well. The two 13 millimeters should be right here. Underneath, put the shock up, and it's on. So we got the brand new BELTEC shocks on. So now we're ready to throw the wheels on, and then we got to do the other side still, so stay tuned. Now we're gonna repeat the same process on the other side. We're gonna be throwing on so right here we gotta remove the two 13 millimeter bolts, and then we're gonna push somehow the shock in there in that tight hole. It's a little tight because you should have done this from the start, but I didn't have shocks, so I went ahead and did everything because I wasn't gonna wait for these shocks. I barely got here today, so I wasn't about to wait almost a week later for some shocks. Also, the tie rods are on, the ones I had to trim. Yeah, I should have put this one a little better. It's pretty loose, but yeah. Let's go ahead and put the shock on, and then we're pretty much done with the 5.7 drop, guys. And just like that, guys, we got the other side with its shock. It's needle shock. So, pretty simple installation. So let's go ahead and throw the wheels back on.